So ladies and gentlemen, something unusual is happening in the war in West Asia. And Pentagon has noticed Iran is firing few missiles now, but here's the problem for Washington. Those missiles are getting harder to stop. According to US intelligence report, Iran missiles are now performing what can only be described as tricks. Last-minute maneuvers, mid-flight swerves, split-second jukes, all designed to confuse and evade American air defense system. And it's working. Now here's where this gets interesting. In the opening weeks of the war, Iran's strategy has relied on volume, overwhelm American defenses through sheer numbers, and to some degrees, the approach succeeded. The US bases in the Gulf are reportedly running low on interceptors missiles. Supply cannot keep up with demand. But now, 5 months into the conflict, Iran has changed tactics completely. Fewer launches, smarter payloads, and the result, direct hit on US military infrastructure across the region. So what changed? That's the billion-dollar question. What makes this missile different from what we saw in the early weeks of the conflict? Now this brings us to something called MARV, a maneuverable re-entry vehicle. And I think this is the real game changer here, ladies and gentlemen. An MARV is essentially a ballistic missile warhead that can change its trajectory in the final stage of its flight, just before impact. It shifts its flight paths, making interception extremely difficult. Think about it. Air defense systems are designed to calculate where a missile will be and intercept it along that flight path based on different mathematical algorithms. But if the missile changes direction at the last seconds, the interceptor misses. It's simple as that. Now the IRGC has upgraded two of its main missiles to carry these warheads. The most lethal, fatter one. This missile has movable nozzles and what the engineers call thrust vectoring, and fins attached to the boosters that help it change direction mid-flight. There is a Khyber chicane. Ladies and gentlemen, this one has specialized fins on the warhead itself, allowing it to make lateral shifts during re-entry. So you have one missile that can swerve on the way up and another that can juke on the way down. What does this mean in practice? The missile is effectively tricking air defense system, and according to US intelligence, that's only half of the story. Now the second piece of the puzzle, and I think this is what makes the whole thing particularly concerning for Washington. Who else is involved? The Pentagon claims that Russia and China are directly participating in the conflict. According to information, Moscow and Beijing are providing military intelligence, satellite intelligence, crucial intelligence about US troops movement to the IRGC. And why does that matter? Because Iran has two missiles, the Ahmad and Gandhar, that rely on satellite-based guidance. These missiles have advanced nose cones and can be guided with precision using satellite coordinates. Coordinates that, according to US reports, Russia and China are now feeding to Tehran. Over the weekend, this missile struck the Mufawa and Aqaba air base in Jordan, killing at least 2 US troops. Iran also hit an ammunition depot at the camp of Udairi in Kuwait and the radar system at Ali al-Salam. The United States has also confirmed damages to the bases in Qatar and in Bahrain. So let me connect the dots here, families. Iran missiles are now doing two things they couldn't do effectively 5 months ago. First, they are relying on more complex, unpredictable flight paths. Secondly, they are hitting targets with precision, thanks to the satellite input from Russia and China. Now, Donald Trump has given a response. Right? President Donald Trump has dismissed Iran missile capability. He said, and I quote, "They've lost almost everything militarily. They've got very little left. They've got some missiles, they've got some drones, they've got some manufacturing capability, but not much." But I think the evidence on the ground tells a different story. Missiles do not need to be the fastest, and they do not need to be the biggest. They just need to be smart enough to get through. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, Iran seems to have figured that out. What do you think about that? If you enjoyed this video, kindly do what to help us hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And if you're feeling generous enough, you can help us leave a comment in the comment section below. Because if you don't, Andrea will definitely cry. Thank you for watching, and God bless you.